Hi, I'm Jeanette Harrington from Bettendorf, Iowa, and we just listened to Rudy Giuliani speak on his candidacy and his beliefs. And I just have to say my overall opinion of what happened with his speaking is that he really spoke from the heart. He spoke very clearly about what his views were, not necessarily what the public opinion poll is going to cause him to say. And I have always been a Republican, a long-term Republican. However, with the past several years, I'd have to say, with fiscal irresponsibility, I've been very disillusioned with the Republican Party and was seriously going to switch to being an independent. And after what I heard today with Rudy, I really believe that if he was our president, that he would make an excellent president, that there would be some true changes to our country, and I actually thanked him for running for office and keeping me as a Republican.
When you're in the White House, how are you going to cut the wasteful spending of all the senators and the representatives and change things? What are you going to do with that money? Get it off the earmarks of bridges to nowhere and put it to bridges to somewhere, and get our infrastructure back in where it should be in America?
Well, there are several things that we've already announced that we'll do, and then we're going to announce more of them. 42% of the federal employees come up for retirement in the next 10 years, probably during the term of the next president, or if the president has 8 years, the president has 2 terms. Question is, what do you do about that? You know what the Democrats are going to do with the pressures they have within their party. They're going to hire all those positions back, plus more to handle socialized medicine, plus more to handle all the new regulations they want. I would hire back only half those positions. That would save us $22 billion just right there. It'd streamline our government. It'd take advantage of new technology like businesses are doing. Here's where I think by the time we get to next year, the Democrats are going to be in a lot of trouble. The Democrats got elected last November on several things they promised to do. Just like I have my promises here in my card that I keep in front of me, and I'm going to take that to the White House with me, and I'm going to track, am I doing a good job and keeping my word to the American people? One of their big promises was they're going to do away with earmarks. If they had put out something like that, that'd be number 2 and number 3. We're going to do away with earmarks. Look at all those Republicans. Look at all the money they spent. Look at all the earmarks they did. Terrible, bad Republicans. And you know something? I didn't agree with most of what they said, but they were right. And the Republican Party deserved that criticism. We were doing too many earmarks. We were doing bridges to nowhere. We were being irresponsible, and the Republican Party got paid back for that. Because that is one of our prime commitments as a party to the American people. We stand for fiscal discipline. We stand for strict management. And when we lose that, it's like when we lose the sense that we're stronger on national security, because we are stronger on national security. I mean, I know Democrats don't like it, but we are. And we're stronger on fiscal discipline, and all of a sudden we lost that. And that's one of the reasons we lost. Well, the Democrats have been in power now for 8 months. Not only have they not done away with earmarks, they've increased them. They had 36,000 requests for earmarks in just 8 months. Most Republicans ever did were about 20,000. So not only haven't they kept their word, they're worse.
Fiscal responsibility is your number 1 issue. What's your number 2 issue?
I guess my number 2 issue would be the whole stance with the immigration. That is a huge problem. It's a complex problem. I'm originally from California, so I know about the illegals coming across the borders. And I think that the ideas that Rudy gave are probably very realistic. We could realistically achieve cutting immigration. And then, like he said, we'll have to focus on the ones that are here illegally and decide what we're going to do with them.
Talk about immigration. Immigration, please, legal and otherwise.
Sure, I'll talk about 2 things. Immigration, legal or otherwise. Well, there should be only one kind of immigration. It should be legal. There shouldn't be otherwise.
Well, sir, when I was in graduate school with foreign students a long time ago, it still took 20 years for them to bring their parents over. Okay. And that seems like a long time, that's all.
That is. And one of the reasons why legal immigration is so complex, and there are such crackdowns on legal immigration, is because of illegal immigration. Because there's a tendency in a bureaucracy to control what you can control, and when the part that you can't control really gets wildly out of control, you go to the part that you can, and you overemphasize it. So I'll give you an example. When I was the mayor of New York, there were about 400,000 illegals in New York City. That was the rough estimate. I told you we had a lot of crime. It was totally out of control. So I wanted to see if I could get the Immigration Service to help me. So I tried to figure out how many people do they deport. They deported about 1,500 to 2,000 a year. Remember, I have 400,000. That's not a lot of help, right? So here's my second commitment in this list that I have. End illegal immigration. We can end illegal immigration. I have the know-how to do it. From my ComStat program that reduced crime in New York City, that's being used in other parts of the world now, can be used to reduce and eliminate illegal immigration. You build a physical fence. Here's the border, right? You build a physical fence for part of it. Stops them from coming over. You build a technological fence for the rest of it that warns you if people are approaching the border. You have enough Border Patrol, you hire more Border Patrol, which are authorized now to be hired. You hire more Border Patrol, and you deploy them in a way in which they can respond to the information they get from the technological equipment. In other words, they're sitting in a headquarters, they're monitoring it, and all of a sudden it says, 60 miles away, there are people approaching the border, and you move your Border Patrol over there. And you get them there within a half hour, an hour, and they'll be ready to stop people from coming over the border. That's how you use the technological fence. You just stop them, like you cannot come in. We're not going to allow you to come in.